Hey everyone! So lately I've really been considering getting a rodent of some sort, and I'm having trouble just figuring out exactly what kind of rodent I would even want. So I invited my good friend and fellow YouTuber ItsAnnaLouise onto my channel so that I can ask her some questions about her experience keeping rats to help see if rats are the rodents for me. Anna, thank you so much for coming on my channel to talk to me about this. I really appreciate it.
Hi everybody! If you do not know me or you have not obviously seen my channel, I'm ItsAnnaLouise, and basically mainly on my channel I show my betta fish and the breeding process because I am a betta breeder. So I take everybody through my journey as a betta breeder, showing all the steps and processes. But other than showing my bettas in the breeding process, I also have other animals such as my axolotl that I show, and also my rats and mouse. So today obviously we're talking about rats, and I'm so excited to do so. So let's go ahead and get right into answering Jeremy's questions.
Not only am I considering getting an animal that ItsAnnaLouise has, but Anna's thinking about getting an animal that I have, and she's asked me some questions about that as well. The video's up on her channel, go check it out. Before we get started, Anna, why don't you go ahead and introduce me and my viewers to your rats?
Alright, so to introduce you to the rats themselves, this is my first little pal right here, Remy. He is my first little boy. He is quite small looking, especially compared to his brother Raisin that I'm about to show you. He's so soft. He is a Rex, so his fur is, I don't know, is more of a sheep kind of like. And he is also a Dumbo ear, so his ears are more of like the Dumbo instead of on top. So this is Remy, and he is a little boy. Hi. Okay, now this is my big boy. Say, I'm huge. And he is actually a little younger than Remy. So this is Raisin, and I just wanted their names to flow and match. His fur, if you can tell, is different. He is not a Rex. So his fur is different, but he is a Dumbo. He is a Dumbo. His ears are a Dumbo. He is definitely a bigger boy. This guy is a sweet, more laid back, whereas Remy is the alpha, and he's like kind of sassy, kind of rude. This little guy right here, all he cares about is food, and I think that kind of shows. But this is normal. The size is definitely normal. What do you smell? But yeah. This is Mr. Raisin, and this is Clove, and I got Clove separately from the other two. This little guy right here I got at a exotic pet expo in Nashville, and he's my little white satin Dumbo Rex. So he's got the same Rex fur as Remy and the Dumbo ears, but this one, he is my baby. He's my angel. This is where he likes to stay. He's my most lovable, loving, sweet one of them all. And this is just what he likes to do. He could stay here all day and he would be happy. But he's a little angel. He is, like I say, a white satin Dumbo Rex. But, let me show you. Come on. Excuse me. He does have a little bit of gray on his little face. You see that? What is it? This is my rat soulmate.
Oh my god, Anna, they're adorable, and low-key, Clove is kind of my favorite. So I guess let's go ahead and jump right into my questions. My very first question is, do rats stink? And if so, what can I do to kind of control that odor?
I will say this. A lot of people think that they're very nasty and messy and gross. Rats have a really bad reputation, but when it comes down to it, they are one of the most cleanest actual rodents, small animals that there are. My rats, having 3 of them, I don't know what that was with my hands, having 3 of them stinks less than my 1 male mouse. So if that says anything. Honestly, a lot of the time, I really truly can't smell them. Sometimes can I smell them? Yes. But it's not that potent at all. Not at all like you would think. And I'm very glad about that because I'm not constantly smelling that smell like I am with my 1 tiny male mouse. So,
do rats need to be kept in groups? Are they social animals, or can I only have 1?
So, do rats need to be kept in groups? Yes, absolutely. They are very social animals. They are so so smart, and they literally just love being around each other. You can get the stubborn male rat here and there, but for the most part, genuinely, they do need to come in pairs. It is recommended to at least have 2, but 3 is even better in case one does die, because lifespan for a rat is very short. It's just about 2 years. So definitely get more than 1, because they're just going to have a better life that way, because they are very social animals.
That's interesting. My background is with fish and with reptiles, and so I'm used to having to keep certain gender ratios with certain species. Are rats that way? Do I have to keep like so many males to so many females? Or should I just keep all of one gender? Or how does that work?
When it comes to gender ratios, basically, yes, you do want to keep the same gender together. You either want to have all males or all females. It's really just based on your preference. I was told before I got rats, when it came to me, you know, deciding the gender that I wanted, I was told that females were a lot more rambunctious and active and wanting to play, whereas males were a lot lazier and would just cuddle with you. And at first, whenever I got my first 2 rats, I was like, these are not like that at all. I guess I kind of got an exception to the group. My 2 first male rats that I showed you, Remy and Raisin, they're not like that. They are more of an active type of rat. So basically, it's just up to you, like what gender that you do want, but whichever one that is that you think would fit you the best, just make sure that they are the same gender.
What kind of enclosure do they need? What size?
For the type of enclosure, basically, rats love to climb. They like to climb a lot, so you're definitely going to want something that has more height instead of width. So something with a few different levels is always a good, you know, idea. I got my cage from this website that I will give you right here. And I like this cage a lot. I think that it's really good. It's a good size, and it has a lot of room. But no matter which cage you do choose, just as long as, you know, it does have a lot more height and things to climb on instead of width.
Again, this may be the fish and reptile keeper in me, but do they have any kind of like humidity or temperature requirements?
For temperature, no, not anything that is like by the books, like, oh, you have to have it this hot or this cold, nothing like that at all. Just basically, one thing to note is if you are in a really hot place and it gets way too hot in the summer and you think that, you know, it's just way too hot, then basically what you can do is just add something cooling in there to help give them some relief, like a chilled, you know, like ceramic dish, or even a tile, you know, that's kind of cold, something like that that helps them in the summertime if you do believe that it is getting too hot.
What does cleaning their enclosure really entail, and how often should I do it?
As for cleaning their enclosures, it's something that I do about 2 times a week, and basically it's not that hard. All I do is strip out the fleece inside and take everything out and clean it and just switch it in. I use fleece for everything in the cage, so basically what I do is I just have extra fleece available for switching it out, and I find that it is a very quick thing to do. But I do sweep every day around their cage because it can get kind of messy there. But really, I can say, especially now, my friend who owns guinea pigs has told me this, and I even remember from when I owned other different kinds of animals, they do, in my opinion, poop and stuff less than, you know, like what a guinea pig and stuff like that would. So basically the mess really honestly isn't even that bad, I would say, you know, compared to even some other types of rodent.
What do they eat?
They like a lot of different things. I definitely think that you do need to feed them pellet food, of course, all the time. And 2 good brands are Oxbow and Missouri. I don't know why I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but anyway, those are 2 really good brands for like the pellets, but they also can eat a lot of other things, and you can even go on Pinterest and different websites to find all the different list of foods that is safe for rats to eat, because there are a lot. And one thing I know rats like are spaghetti noodles. I personally like Cheerios a lot for treats, but for other food to feed, you can feed them cooked vegetables like broccoli and carrots, a lot of different things like that. And even occasionally like a mealworm or 2 is not even bad for them. But really, you can get really creative with a rat's diet.
How hard is it to hand tame them and get them used to handling? How long does that normally take?
For taming them and like getting them used to you for like with your hands and just having them out and holding them on you, it's really different. And I thought, you know, when people told me that males were a lot more laid back than females, I thought I wouldn't have that hard of an issue, or like less hard of an issue. But with Remy and Raisin, I tried so much with them. They're just not they're both not mama's boys at all. They both would rather have each other's company and being more active than being with me. I tried doing the method where, you know, you sit really, really still and have your hand in their enclosure, you know, to let them come up and sniff you and examine you and try to climb on you and get used to you, things like that. I at first let them go a few days without handling them. I worked on scent things. One thing that you can do is put an old t-shirt or anything like that with your scent in there. That will help, and that will help them to get used to you and your scent, to know that you're okay. Another thing you can do is put your hand in there with food and just have the food like on your hand, and then like let them come up to you slowly. There's all those tactics to help build, but for some reason Raisin and Remy just never really caught on to that, and I don't really understand why. And it may have been something, you know, that maybe I just didn't do the right thing, but they just never really did. Clove, on the other hand, from the day I brought him home, was exactly what everyone told me a male rat would be. And this goes in with cleanliness too. Raisin and Remy, they will poop and pee all the time everywhere. Clove will not. Clove, as soon as I brought him home, from the first night, he slept with me like on my tummy, like a baby. And then after the first few days, he started to get where he would love it up on my shoulder. And since then, for all those months since I've had him, since September, he stays on my shoulder and on my chest, either right here to like right there, every single night. He is my cuddle bug. He never pees on me. He never poops on me. He doesn't stink. He's so sweet. He does fart a lot, so. And he gives me kisses and he loves me. That's one of the best things ever. He'll rear up and like sniff my face and kiss me on my face, and his little tongue is so cute. He'll kiss my chest and my shoulder and all that, and he's just my perfect little angel. He likes to be with me, and he's more lazy, whereas my other boys are a lot more energetic.
How much time do they need outside of their enclosure?
I would definitely say a couple of hours a day. I have Clove out definitely the longest, just because he's so chill and I can get stuff done too with him out. I have him out for over 3 hours a night, and then I put him up.
Do rats need to be bathed? And if so, how often?
No, not really. Rats really don't really like, you know, being in water and all that kind of stuff, and really and honestly it can come down to more of a stressful thing for them than anything. So I basically recommend no. I mean, if they did get really stinky for some reason, then you could use a baby wipe and that could work, but other than that, for a bath, I definitely wouldn't think so. But I've never even had to use like a baby wipe on mine.
I really like to provide enrichment for my animals. How do you recommend I provide that to rats?
So for enrichment, yes, they definitely need a lot of stuff. Definitely at least 2 hammocks. It's a hammock per rat. They love to lay in hammocks, even together. They'll just be squashed up. They definitely love toilet paper rolls. They love like foraging. They love foraging toys. I do have treat balls for them. They love to, like I said, climb, so things that will help them climb like ladders and stuff like that are always good.
Are there any rat keeper life hacks that you've picked up along the way that you think makes keeping rats a little bit easier?
Okay, I didn't take this advice when I first got rats because I wanted everything to be as cutesy as can be, and I spent a crap ton of money buying things when everyone told me not to do that because they would destroy everything. And I didn't listen. I spent a lot of money. Did they destroy everything? Yes. You can do so many things for your rats without spending any money even. You can just put old boxes inside of their cages and put like toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls and stuff like that, and even make your hammocks as far as that goes. Anything like that is going to save you money, and I think you're going to be a lot happier because rats do destroy things, and they destroy things fast.
If I do decide to get rats, where do you recommend I get them from? Should I get them from a pet store? Should I rescue some snake food? Or should I get them from a breeder?
The best place to get a rat, in my opinion, and especially I consider these things, you know, when I was looking to get a rat, I was always told that it would be really good to get one from a breeder, and so that's what I did. I went searching for breeders and talking to breeders, and where I live, there's really actually none around me, so I had to travel for like 4.5 hours to to actually get my rats from a whole nother state. I had to go all the way to Kentucky, and that's where I got my rats. It's always good to get them from a breeder, because getting them from a pet store or even as feeder ones, you don't know how they're raised, and temperament is always a thing. So if you're getting one from a place where you don't know where they came from, they could be, you know, not as nice, not as friendly. There could be a lot of different things, including, you know, stuff wrong with their health and all that. So it's definitely safer to go to a breeder. Clove did come from a pet expo from a breeder that I met there and talked to, who was really nice, and you could tell that she was very experienced, and I was very, very pleased with that experience.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add that you feel like I missed?
One last thing that I do believe that you should know is that, unfortunately, you know, rats do not live long. About 2 years is their lifespan. But one thing that can happen, especially in older rats, is they can get tumors. And this does happen quite frequently. And to kind of throw back into the last question about where to get your rat, knowing that they're coming from a good line is also better, because they get sick so often. Also, rats have very bad respiratory issues. So definitely you cannot use anything like, I don't know, candles, perfume, cologne, any of that kind of stuff around them. No smoking around them. Anything like that, because they have really sensitive respiratory issues. So make sure that you don't have any kind of heavily scented things around them. That can bother them and make them sick very easily. But back to the tumors, a lot of adult and older rats do get tumors, and it's so sad, and it's something that I have to take into consideration. It has obviously not happened to me yet, and I really hope and pray that it doesn't, but that's just something that you do have to look out for when owning rats. But I do believe that that is probably it.
Thank you so much for coming and doing this video with me, Anna. I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot from you throughout this process, and I'm sure that my viewers have learned a lot as well.
I really hope that I helped you. I hope that this helped you kind of decide whether you should get rats or not. I personally think you should. I mean, I may be a little biased, but I think that rats are great, and I'm excited to see what you do choose to get, if you do choose to get a rodent like you are kind of wanting to. So I'm excited about that. Also, guys, make sure to check out my video that I'm doing with Jeremy. And I do want to say thank you so much for inviting me to your channel, and I'm really happy to do this video with you. I have been really looking forward to it and looking forward to filming, and it's been a really fun process. So thank you so much, my dear friend. And yeah,
I'll be sure to leave a link to your video up on the screen right now. And to everyone watching right now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.